is The Big Show. The Big Show.
Welcome back, Seawolves, to another episode of The Big Show. I'm Robert Shabilsky.
And I'm Adrian Esposito. It has been quite a week. Let's get into our top story. The yearly UN Climate Change Conference starts today in Baku, Azerbaijan. The gathering, called the Conference of Parties 29, or COP29, brings together world leaders to discuss the impacts of climate change and propose solutions to slow it down. This marks the 29th annual meeting of its kind. COP29 hopes to address the goals set forth by the Paris Agreement. Current American President Joe Biden will not be in attendance. In his place, the U.S. will send current White House climate advisor John Podesta as the leader of the American delegation. The conference lasts until November 22nd.
After President Trump won all 7 swing states on Tuesday and the GOP took back control of the Senate, it's becoming more likely than not that the Republicans will gain the majority in the House of Representatives as well. This gives the GOP control of all 3 branches of government for the next 2 years.
Speaking of the GOP, Elise Stefanik has been appointed to be the UN ambassador. I don't really know that much about her, except I remember her being a real shark in the congressional hearings about unrest on college campuses and the rights of Palestinian students to demonstrate against what's happening in Gaza. Now let's go to Maya in the newsroom to find out more about Congresswoman Stefanik. Maya, what do we need to know about this Republican firebrand?
Yeah, Adrian, so Elise Stefanik was actually the youngest woman to be elected into Congress at the age of 30. She was only 9 years older than me when she took the position. She went to Harvard University in her undergraduate years, and she also attended a private all-girls school up in Albany. So unlike you and I, she actually has no experience in public school.
A little scary, maybe a little elitist too. And if she's so young, how did she get this position?
So she actually made a name for herself in Congress. The more she was on Congress, she actually drifted further and further over to the hard right. She made a name for herself condemning free speech for Palestinian students on campuses across the country. Last year, she also said that she plans to cut the U.S. funding of the United Nations. So she's actually willing to cut the funding of where she'll end up.
I can't believe that someone has been appointed to a position where they don't even want to fund the organization that their position entails.
Yes, and also after further research on her congressional pages, I found no experience indicating that she has any knowledge of any foreign policy, so it should be interesting.
That is crazy. Thank you, Maya.
Of course.
While there are wildfires currently raging in parts of New Jersey and New York, and we're in quite the drought here on Long Island, we haven't seen rain in days, Doreen has our one-day forecast. Doreen?
Good day, Seawolves. After a dry spell, we finally got some rain. The weather is shining and the sun is out, so get your sunglasses out. I'm Doreen Abanmabaya, and today's weather is a 67 high and a 54 low. So Seawolves, make sure you get your sunglasses out, as I said before. So, over to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Doreen. For the rest of the weather this week, our resident meteorologist Jason Ketograd has returned after being out sick last week. Let's hear from him. Jason?
Thank you, Adrian. If you woke up this morning and saw some clouds in the sky, saw some rain on the ground, those are just some remnants from the storm that took place last night. But if we take a look at our Earth cam from Port Jeff, the sun is out right now. It's a beautiful day in the mid-60s. And today is Veterans Day, so don't forget to get out there and honor our veterans, whether you go to a parade and you have your day off from school. But Veterans Day is important to me because I had some family members that served in the Army. But let's take a look at the weather for the rest of the week. Tuesday, it's going to be a little bit more windy than today. Winds up to 23 miles per hour, but gusts are going to be around 30, so be careful when you're out there on Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday, our temperatures are going to be a little bit lower than the rest of the week. We're going to be in the high 40s, and overnight it's going to drop down to the high 30s and low 30s. So almost freezing temperature, so be careful when you're out there. Maybe wear a jacket. And Thursday's going to be pretty cloudy. Friday and Saturday, the sun's going to be out, but we're going to be back up to the high 50s, high to mid 50s. And Sunday, a little bit cloudy skies. However, back to 60 degrees, and that's really high for November. So just really enjoy the warm weather that we will see this weekend. Thank you. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Jason. It's awesome to have you back with us, and happy to hear you're doing better. Now, let's go over to Lubna Barkat, who has this week's sports segment, championship victories, and some typical New York football team losses. Lubna?
Good day, sports fans. I'm your host, Lubna Barkat. Now, I'm not really a sports fanatic, but that's a lie when it comes to cricket. Sadly, we are not covering cricket today, but this is what we have put together for you. Now, let's dive into the latest updates for this week. First up, some big news from Stony Brook. The Seawolves men's football team totally slated with a 24-6 win over Albany. This is their first Golden Apple victory since 2021, and they were looking fierce on that field. And speaking of Seawolves, the women's soccer team made history by winning the CAA championship. They beat Monmouth University with 2-1. How amazing is that? Talk about girl power. Now, on to the next, NBA. Unfortunately, the New York Knicks couldn't quite pull it off against the Indiana Pacers, losing 121-132. But hey, they'll bounce back. And the New York Giants also had a tough time against the Carolina Panthers, losing 17-20. But don't worry, there's always a next week, right? But the Buffalo Bills, they were on fire. They won 30-20 against the Indiana Colts. Woo, Bills! The New York Jets didn't have the best day, though. They fell to the Arizona Cardinals 6-31. Better luck next time, Jets. And last but not least, some drama in soccer. The New York City FC won an intense penalty shootout against Cinematic FC, sending them to the Eastern Conference Finals against the New York Red Bulls. Can't wait to see that showdown. That's all for sports today. Stay fabulous and keep cheering for your favorite team. Now to provide some perspective on where the Seawolves football season began, we sent our reporter Robert to learn more.
I'm here at Laval Stadium. After last year's football team went 0-10, Director of Athletics Sean Hilbrand decided it was time for a change. And he went out and hired first-time Division I head coach Billy Kosh. I had the chance to sit down with Coach Kosh, learn about his coaching philosophy, and why he's excited to bring a change here at Stony Brook on Long Island. Football is the premier college sport. And for Stony Brook's new head coach, Billy Kosh, he becomes just the third man to lead the Seawolves in the Division I era.
My mind says we're going to get after it and go, and do the things that we wanted to do as a program and do it right. Obviously, you can only go up. I think that is something that is true for 100%. But we just cared about the process of what we want to do. As corny as that is, everybody says it, but we really believe in that.
As I said previously, this is not, and I stress this, not a rebuild. It's a relaunch, a revitalization. And I'm absolutely certain that we have the right man to lead it.
Football is such a big operation. It's the largest number of athletes, it's the largest number of coaches and staff, and it's a large investment, from our university in terms of scholarships and operational costs. So when that goes well, it really has a domino effect on the rest of the department. And seeing all the fans at homecoming and seeing the energy of our athletes and obviously coming home with a big ranked win, it was just awesome. And it's been very, very validating to see the success that both he and the coaches and our players have had.
And that was the biggest thing we try to change, was just the mindset and the culture. And that's still day to day, every single day. You're always evolving with that.
Once Kosh was tabbed for the role, he brought on a familiar face with him to the island, offensive coordinator and wide receivers coach Anthony Davis, who will enter their third season together since 2019, after spending time together at VMI and Western Michigan.
It's awesome, man. It's fun because he deserves it. I don't know very many people, if anyone, who works harder. He deserves it. I know he's going to do right, not only about a player, but about a person, for the benefit of the team as a whole. And that stands, that literally just a testament to his character, and it's awesome that he's in a position to literally pour out everything that he wants and envisions in a program, you know, the things he thinks is right and believe in, things I believe in as well. That's why, you know, obviously I signed up for this. It's awesome to see it come to fruition, you know, and work, because the only thing that validates you really is winning, and these are things we think lead to winning, and he has a vision for it, and we're just all just working, trying to make it come true.
Anthony Forelli, a redshirt sophomore, believes Kosh's age has only helped in making meaningful connections with his players on and off the field.
And really that, to me, is what builds connection within an organization. And because of those conversations and because of the vulnerability, I think that he's been able to connect with players on a level that I've never seen. And I've never had a coach connect with me or any of my teammates like he has. So to me, I think that the vulnerability and kind of the newness of him being a first-time head coach has actually worked in all of our favors, to be honest with you. Obviously, the turnaround has meant everything to me, and let alone the guys that have been here longer than I have, that this might be their last year. Like, this turnaround of the program really has sparked new life into everybody. It's reignited a love for the game in so many guys.
And the Seawolves are still getting better. Every day at practice, every snap, and are focused on going 1-0 every week.
Can we play off each other? I think that's what we're searching for right now, is playing that complete game on all three phases together. That's the chase that we're on. That's what's great about this sport and coaching, is you're always on the chase, man. You're always chasing, and that's the thrill of it.
This year's Seawolves squad is off to their best start since 2017, when they went 10-3, and it's their first winning season since 2018. Under the leadership of new head coach Billy Kosh. They have 2 more games left, away this weekend at New Hampshire and back here at home for Senior Day against Monmouth. Let's throw it back to the studio.
That was a really cool interview with Coach Kosh, Robert. Great work. Is there anything else exciting you learned about the coach?
I just think what was so awesome in spending time with Coach Kosh and Coach Davis is that, you know, Coach Kosh, he's a football guy through and through, loves his family, loves football, loves winning games, and being around the team and at some games this season, it's really evident the new energy and excitement around this year's squad. And the other thing is Coach Kosh, he's a big details guy, and if you're a student, you need to make sure to register for classes. Don't miss your registration window. Make sure you get your preferred classes so you can have an awesome spring semester when we come back in 2025. That wraps up this week's episode of The Big Show. I'm Robert Shabilsky.
And I'm Adrian Esposito.
This is The Big Show. The Big Show.